Hello everybody, welcome back to our crypto spiritual energy update here for the week July 6th till 12th 2018. And if you've watched the energy forecast for July, then you probably already know that we are looking at a pretty good week. The title turnaround may look really good here for this coming week. So there is a pivotal energy for this week, and for the crypto market, this has significance because there's a retrocausal ping here to what happened in December overall, collectively. It's bringing back issues for people from last December, personal issues with uncertainty, with fear of loss, fear of the unknown. But for the crypto market, it's actually showing the reverse pattern. So what I can see here for this next week is actually something that I called, sort of the beginning of the reversal of the last 6 months in a very, very fast pace. So even though, the crypto markets went here through a continual sort of decline, really, or like a strong decline, then a few attempts, to regain their previous market cap and their previous profits as an investment, as the prices is concerned. We've seen a lot of this bear market, as people call, ups and downs, extreme volatility, which is why I recommended not to go too deep into the crypto sphere here for these first 6 months. However, this is now taken on a whole different pace, a whole different momentum. And for me personally, this is a go signal here. Overall, in these last 6 months, a lot of reflection, a lot of weeding out has taken place. And, if you didn't jump off the boat, in PRA, panicked and ran, then you will have a much, much better feeling now for this entire crypto ecosystem here as disruptor of the old paradigm, really as way showing for a new paradigm that is beginning to show in many other areas, beginning to replicate into many other areas as well, such as politics, such as corporate data security, data sharing, and so forth. So there's a lot that has happened in these last 6 months, even though the prices that we see, if you look at CoinMarketCap.com, it looks kind of like October last year, but a lot of weeding out has taken place. So I'm glad that this has all led to a bit more maturity and also a bit more of a trustworthy feeling overall. And you note that we do these integrity ratings here at Crypto Spiritual, sponsored by transCODES. So these are basically, it's a group out of our trans coaches, our energy coaches that were trained by us in energy work and integrity testing. And we do, some of us do blind testing, some of us do associative testing using different kind of testing methods, such as energy testing, energy code work, and remote viewing, and then put together in this report. So today we're going to be looking at one ICO, 2 tokens, a hardware wallet, one exchange, and our crypto celebrity persona, that I will soon compile for you guys in comparable videos, so that you can look at what these integrity ratings mean. They are not investment advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, so this has nothing to do with how you make your choices. But if you are, like many of us, energetically sensitives and empaths, a conscious investor, if you see the cryptosphere like I do as a playfield, really, where this paradigm change that we've all been waiting for is playing out, then this can be a good indication for you, like, say, perhaps in terms of the long-term credibility, the long-term integrity and trustworthiness of a company. Since we're dealing with primarily startups here, there's no way of telling, and we all know that 95% of these coins, these altcoins, and perhaps currencies as well, that they're not going to make it. And so this experimental rating that we are coming up here with, that we've been doing since 8 months now, gives us a really interesting perspective. So if you are, just gotten into the cryptosphere and you're doing research on things, then use this maybe as an additional factor. It's not woo-woo, it's a hands-on testing of things, and it's comparable. It's using a numerical scale, based on the map of consciousness developed by Dr. Hawkins. And the people that are testing here are all very experienced energy workers. So this could be very interesting for you. But let's look at the market here real quick. I stopped reporting about the market. If you are part of our Crypto Spiritual Facebook group, you get a daily update here from the Cointelegraph that I repost there, just to give you an overview. And once in a while, I pick articles that I think are significant. So there's a good news going on right now. There's an overall sort of reminder that the EU has published yesterday that it is difficult to talk about and regulate things that they're not fully understanding. This is I think, a step in the right direction here, because we are looking at future technology. We're looking at the Internet 3.0, or the fourth industrial revolution that is still sort of in its birthing state. And to come to premature conclusions or regulations can really make a difference for a nation right now, as far as their ability to adapt and their ability to bring in these technologies. So there are a few countries now, as you may know, that are really emerging, as sort of new Silicon Valleys of cryptocurrencies, such as Switzerland, and some countries or places such as Malta that are very open for as far as the legal aspects of this, crypto companies is concerned. And of course, last but not least, Facebook has announced that they will stop the ban on crypto advertisement. This is really good news for me, guys, because I used to do Facebook Live updates, and I stopped doing them because I kept on getting banned by Facebook, even though I wasn't doing any advertisement. But the algorithms, picked up on me favoring the cryptos and talking about cryptos and so forth. So perhaps, this means that I can do Facebook Live updates in the future again. But anyway, so the question is this a turnaround here? And I think it is. This, is not investment advice, of course, but energetically, it looks like the more the old paradigm gets into issues or into problems, such as the stock market, such as data handling and so forth, the more the crypto market is actually going to benefit from it. And we've seen signs here in the last week of whales, big investment money coming back into the market with quick spikes. And there's still a lot of volatility, so you still have to do a lot of research, and my take on that is it has been from the beginning that we are buying to hodl, to hold on to it, as a sort of an alternative for retirement funds, or, maybe things that we want to build for our children. So we looked at a mining investment pool last week, for instance, that does, a combination of crypto mining and investing that pays out every week, indefinitely. So some of these things are really interesting and very cool as long-term investments. Anyway, so there's a lot of volatility still there. We tested ethos last month, and I saw this happening within the last 24 hours. I was there at a very early stage with ethos, which is a cool new wallet coming out soon. It's a beta testing right now, and they've launched, the different countries here in the last couple of days, and people were speculating on it, and then, like a hot potato, they dropped it today. So watch some of these speculative pumps and dumps, because that's something that we'll see here in the next week, especially pump and dump, and some of these like really extreme ups and downs, but this time because the money is flowing back in. So the market cap right now, I think, is at 266 or something billion dollars. I would not be surprised if we are looking at more than 300 next week, and steadily growing here over the next month, looking at collective energies where there's a lot of stuff going to go down in the collective. I think that the cryptosphere will benefit from this. Very important here, before I start the integrity ratings, please make suggestions, okay? Please comment in this video. Let us know what coins, what tokens you want us to test. We're also testing exchanges, we're testing wallets, and we're testing mining pools, we're testing personalities, all right? So we're starting to build a database here that is looking pretty good, and especially when it comes to comparisons. Very, very interesting. Okay, so please don't forget to like this video, and let me know what kind of coins you would be interested in. So let's get started here with ICOs. So we picked an ICO for you called HILO. Not a lot of people know about this. You have to do your research as to when the ICO starts and whether your country allows you to participate in it. As you know, due to some of these regulations, the ICO process got limited in many countries, such as the US. So you may not be able to participate in this ICO. But we do these testings, of course, for everybody, not just the United States. HILO is an interesting idea. It's basically a social network for cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Okay, so they're building, a network with crypto influencers, enthusiasts, databases for research, for all kinds of things, and of course, rating system, a system where you get paid for your content, and so forth. This is a very interesting idea. But the testing actually revealed that it may not actually have that convincing integrity. The token itself, this is where we test how well the ICO and the token will be launched into the market. Calibrates at 193. That's not bad. Remember, we're looking at 200 as the main barrier for being based on truth, being integrous. So that's relatively high compared to some of the other ICOs that we've tested, but it's still below integrity, which means that the long-term value here could be in question if the people in the team or in leadership, if they do not bring in sort of the long-term intention, or if they can't see that far. Now, with 191, this team is actually calibrating relatively high, so the intentions are actually good. It's not fully integrous. Of course, we in business we see this a lot, that people do their business ideas based on money, based on wanting to make profits, and there's nothing wrong with this. So capitalism itself calibrates on 175, I think. So the idea of wanting to make money calibrates below truth, because it doesn't really have the greatest good for all in mind. But at 191, it's relatively high compared to the overall business paradigm right now. We are looking for crypto coins, though, at a value higher than 200, just based on the whole sort of crypto spirit here, namely the disruptive and open source and decentralized nature of it. So this is not given here. But again, I want to point out that the people have a good intentions here, okay? This is a good stable team. We don't see this very often, even though they calibrate slightly under 200. The project and the technology that is introduced here in the white paper calibrates at 195. Again, you know, not bad, really not bad, but as an overall rating with 193, it's not entirely convincing. So please don't take this as my opinion, or, you know, bad mouthing, or, you know, trying to you know, discredit a company. This is based on blind testing for the most part, and so you know, I cannot really say that you know, that you know, it's not going to be successful based on that. All right. Next up is the token number one, and token number one is something that you guys recommended to us, namely ELASTOS. So those of you who have invested in ELASTOS recently, they had some good movements there. And even though most people haven't really heard anything about ELASTOS, it's an interesting project, and I want you to look at this because it also shows some other issues with tokens. Okay, so here we go. ELASTOS calibrates as an investment above 200, which is a really, really good sign, with 209. That's a trustworthy investment. And the interesting thing here, you know, we take note of this because remember, this is not just a numerical testing. There's a lot of other testings, you know, because everybody does a different, you know, uses a different method, and so we get a lot of additional information with this. ELASTOS had a very strong overlay here in regards to the investment, to the token itself. So this could be a really cool sign for them for the future. Okay, so as of right now, it calibrates as a you know, Integris system, Integris token, and could be something worthwhile researching. The team, however, is a little unharmonic at this very moment. So there will be things that need to be sorted out for ELASTOS, and maybe that's the reason why we're not getting a higher value here for the investment, because a lot of it will depend on that. The technology itself, the project, is a really cool project. It's similar to SkyCoin. It allows sort of an next generation internet where we can build our own digital assets. Basically, it's a very, very cool idea, and the overlay that we got here shows that this can do really, really well in the future if this company maybe seeks collaborations with other companies. I know it's already collaborating, but you know, there's a team issue here. So my thumbs up for ELASTOS here from the crypto integrity rating point of view. Could be very interesting in the future. The second coin or token that we have tested this week is REDDCOIN. This too was a recommendation or a request from you guys, and REDDCOIN is also something that has to do with social media, has to do with community. We talked about this last week, and by the way, I still owe you the edited version with all the crypto rating pictures here. I simply didn't have the time to do this this last week. We were still in the process of wrapping up our live workshop here. So once a year we have this, and we're very, very busy. But I will send this out with this week's Crypto Spiritual Update, the integrity ratings from last week. So REDDCOIN is kind of like a digital or like a cryptocurrency for social media content. It's like a tipping currency, okay? And this surprised me because I actually like the project a lot. It's a very visionary project, and I think this is where things have to go here as far as providing content, as far as, basically supporting, content providers similar to Patreon, but in a more decentralized and scalable version. So as its own as its own currency. But the token itself didn't actually calibrate this high. However, the technology and the idea published here in the white paper calibrates at 202. That's integrous. That's within the crypto spirit, if you will, and also showed a lot of overlay. My feeling for REDDCOIN is that it may become very, very popular in the application. Okay, but this may not, sort of show in the price, but it will become very popular. Okay, the team itself is relatively stable, I think this is a cool investment, even though it only calibrates at 192. The popularity will show. We don't know this yet because our crypto rating is very much experimental here. Yeah, so very interesting and surprising, these integrity testings. Next up, we have exchange integrity, and we chose HitBTC. This was actually not so surprising for me personally. HitBTC calibrated as far as their safety of their exchange is concerned at 175. That's not very high, guys. It's not very safe, okay? And people actually calibrate higher than a lot of people in other exchange organizations. At 187, it's actually not bad. But the motivation is power-based, and it has a centralized feel to it. The HitBTC, it came across as not trustworthy, especially due to its lack of safety here. And unfortunately, it actually calibrates lower than other big exchanges. Next up is the wallets. So again, here we've tested Ethos and Pillar last week as tokens, not as wallets. And why is that? Simply because they're not functioning yet. They're not out yet as usable or applicable wallets. Okay, so we here in the wallet section, we are testing functioning wallets, hardware wallets, things that you can use right now. And we picked Ledger Nano, the other big hardware wallet, based on their current release. The popular version of this, and this surprised me. It actually calibrated with 183, lower than some software wallets that we tested. So the wallet function only reached a value of 188. That is not 100% safe, guys. There's issues with technology. The people at 181, this is something we see a lot. This has to do with, of course, the motivation, why they're in the crypto market. So the more, say, business-oriented or money-making oriented a team is, the lower their integrity value. This does not say that they're a bad team or that they don't know what they're doing. On the contrary, but it gives you information about the motivation. Now, looking at the technology and at the actual safety of the wallet, it only calibrated at 180, guys. So the overall rating here of 183 for a hardware wallet, that does not come across as trustworthy, guys. There's issues with the technology. There were some hacks in the past. Of course, there were hacks with other wallets as well, and we will continue to see this. But the fact that it calibrates lower than most of the software wallets that we've tested is kind of scary. So kind of thumbs down from me. Okay, hate to say it, guys. I have a Trezor. I like the Ledger, the software better than the Trezor, but you know, this is something that I have to put aside, you know, my personal preferences here. And our last crypto rating is something that we've started just a few weeks back, and that is crypto celebrities. So the personalities and the influences in the crypto sphere. And we started out with Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin. Then we moved on to Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, and now we're looking at Roger Ver. Roger Ver is, to my knowledge, not a developer, but you know, one of these really early investors and spokespersons, you know, for cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin in particular. And he's a very controversial personality. Okay, so you know, people either love him or hate him, and he's showing a lot of courage. And actually, whether you like him or not, as far as his consciousness level is concerned, with the 225, that's above truth, that's trustworthy. Okay, it's an integrous person. However, you know, while his intentions are to empower the sphere, you know, he can also get too attached. So he lacks neutrality sometimes, and that you know, he wants to be right, and he gets too locked into the fight, you know, and fighting against others, where he could just, you know, become a bit more laid back and neutral, and, you know, let things play out by itself, okay? So that would make him a lot more trustworthy. So I think a lot of people are doing him unjust by calling him, you know, whatever they call him, because from an integrity standpoint, he is an integrous person, all right? You don't necessarily have to agree with what an integrous person says. You don't have to like them, but they mean what they're saying. So they're authentic. This is really what authentic, or what integrity in a person tells you, and that if push comes to shove, they're not going to lie to you, or they're not going to try to rip you off. Okay. So these conclude the crypto integrity ratings here for this week, and I want to thank you guys for coming, for watching me here. By the way, aired from Florida this summer, and sponsored by transCODES. If you would like to know more about how to learn this integrity testing, or how to deal with the collective energies in a different way, even though you're not per se like a spiritual person, you know, then go to transcodes.com. We teach people how to do this, and how to take sort of the woo-woo out of energy work. We just had a workshop here in Florida teaching people how to do this crypto calibration, the crypto integrity testing. And I'm probably going to set up a workshop here pretty soon for our Sacred Self-Healing community. That's the community that we are building, people who are interested in energy work and the actual application. I also do abundance coaching and energy coaching for businesses. So, you know, with this integrity rating, you can also test sort of matching consciousness levels, you know, for crypto staffer, for instance, you know, does this employee match the conscious level of the company? Or is this business idea integrous? Or is this contract integrous? So there's a lot of applications, and we're just at the beginning of all of this, guys. So if you want to know more, send me an email at JONA@transcodes.com. Check out our crypto staffer website, where we match up people who are looking for companies, you know, in the crypto sphere, or people who are looking for employees. This is what we do, and we're specialized on young talents, you know, people who don't have that much experience yet in the business area and so forth, with corporate and remote jobs. So check all this out. Thank you guys for being here. It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you next week, and wish that you can take advantage of this turnaround this week.